waterfall model was quite simple and easy for understanding. Also, it worked well for smaller projects wherein the requirements were well understood. However, there were some disadvantages like it required a lot of documentation and it made the process quite cumbersome. If you look at the entire development life cycle, it took almost over a year for a company to launch its application or software. Hence, in the year 2001, a group of 17 software developers they came together, and after a detailed discussion and brainstorming, they came up with agile methodology, wherein they developed a manifesto for software development, which was also called as Agile Manifesto. Agile helped in development of a lightweight software. Also, it gave an opportunity for the clients to have an early feedback session about the product which is going to be developed. Now, let's talk about agility and flexibility. If you look at the end goal of both, it's the same, which is adapting to the change. So, now if we talk about agility, it is about adapting to the change in an analyzed manner. Whereas if we talk about flexibility, it is a forceful change which needs to be adapted. So that is the key difference between agility and flexibility. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kripali. I'm from Batch 11 BA Agile Training Program. I'm just going to briefly explain what we covered in the last class. It was a very refresher course because we have new students, so it was very nice. After a break, we refreshed over the things that was covered in the past class. We briefly went over the 4 values of Agile, 12 principles, manifestos, how important they are, even though they may sound simple, but they have a deep meaning, and they were very nicely explained, covering like a brief refresher. We went over a certification website, which is very useful in the long run, how you can start preparing and work your way up. The basic most important certification you can start with is CSM, that certification for Scrum Master, and that's a good way to start and work your way up. The website provides more detailed information about several other certifications. We were also introduced to several tools that are available on Google that we can work and play with it, introduce ourselves to a couple of the tools that are used in Agile. The most common one are Jira, Trello, Asana. It was like a DIY project mentioned that you can play with the tools, set up an account, try to understand and learn on your own basis. A couple will be covered in the future courses, so that may be our next assignment of working on one of the tools. Next, the main thing that was covered in this class today was the difference between Agile and Scrum. It may sound same and interchangeably used during our work process, but there is a difference between the two. So basically, Agile is a mindset. Agile is a philosophy used, which is based on the 4 core values, 12 principles, and the manifestos in a very simple language. Everybody works towards the end product. It is very flexible, and it can constantly change with time through collective collaboration of the team members. Agile is very important to understand and learn, as it can be confused with Scrum, where Scrum is a framework within Agile. It is the most common tool used in Agile, and it talks about how team members are collectively responsible for their duties. There is no a particular selected head of the team which is responsible. Everybody plays its part to meet the end product, reach the goal within a time frame, and they may be used interchangeably, but there is a difference between Agile and Scrum. So Scrum is can be used within the Agile tool. It's a framework, while Agile is a philosophy or a mindset based on the 4 core values and principles. Yes, that was most important thing covered in today's class. Thank you.
Hi, this is Ashi, and today I would like to elucidate a little bit about the difference between Agile and Scrum. So basically, Agile is a software development life cycle methodology which takes an incremental and iterative approach, while Scrum is a lightweighted framework used for Agile development. Scrum basically gives meetings, tools, and roles and lays down specific practices that must be followed for the process to be consistent with the framework and thus help in the development of a feature in a software. So specifically under Scrum, we have these features are developed in a defined period known as a sprint. Now this sprint can last anywhere between 2 and 4 weeks. So in other words, it can be concluded that Scrum is basically a subset of Agile.